Hi guys, I thought I would do this one as a YouTube tutorial because it's pretty big and we're going to see how we do with this. We're going to do the chalk and peel method. This is our large size E transfer. It is brand new. They have refurbished our Never Stop Making Wishes transfer that we had years ago. Well, not really years ago, a couple of years ago. And they've made it all into one piece. So this would be super cute just done in white, but you know I can't do anything easy. So I'm going to do my words in Couture Teal and my little dandelion flowers. I'm going to do them in bright white. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is a huge transfer. We're going to get it loose from the top. You don't want to pull diagonally. You want to try to pull top to bottom. And we need to fuzz this because it has not been used before. So what I'm doing is I'm peeling it down, and I am going to go ahead and use my fuzzing towel on this. I'm going to actually lay the towel down onto this surface, making sure that there's not stuff on my towel. You can use a regular towel. You do not have to use the fuzzing cloth. And this just takes off just a little bit of the sticky. We're going to go ahead and we're going to let that go right back up onto there, and then we're going to do the other half. So the chalkboard that I chose, this is our Grayson, and this is a 18 by 24. This is the largest one. They are not selling this one anymore. The Sylvie has taken its place, and I have some Sylvies, but they are at the bottom of my stack. So I'm going to choose to do this, trying to get some of this stuff off of the board. There's little pieces of chalk paste. I'll do that before we start. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this one up too. And sometimes it's better to have two people for these big ones, but we're going to tackle this with just me, and I will probably get help putting it back onto the backer sheet. My daughter-in-law will be coming later, and if you happen to see that there's anything on there like dog hair or human hair or little pieces of fuzz, go ahead and pull that off. And now the tricky part is we want to get the backer sheet off of this. So these are silkscreen transfers. They are sticky on the back side, and they have a silkscreen in them. They're similar to a stencil, but they are a silkscreen transfer. They are on these backer sheets that are shiny. You want to make sure you put it back on the shiny side. I have put an X on the back side. So the back side has an X. It tells me don't put it back on here. You could write making wishes, whatever you want to do. That is your choice. Also, make sure that whatever surface you're using, that you have the top part. There's the hook at the top. So you want to make sure that your hook is in the correct place. And then we can go ahead and we can take this off. So the easy way to do this is to pull the backer sheet from the transfer. So I'm going to flip this down so that part of this is onto my frame. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to peel this, and then we're going to get this all figured out. So pulling my backer sheet off, setting that to the side. Going to go ahead and pull this up. If you get a little bit of air underneath of it, it makes it a lot easier to get it into place. So going to try to get this on here. This is a chalk couture surface, so it does not need to be waxed. It's going to take a couple of tries to do this. And so just be patient. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Does not have to be perfect. It has kind of a little bit different on the side. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and we are going to press this down. This is a huge transfer, and we do not want air bubbles in it. We want to make sure that we have all of our air bubbles out. I can see something under here. I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. There was something on my fuzzing cloth. and it looks like my hair. So we're going to go ahead and get that out of there right now so that it doesn't leave a mark on our chalk paste. And I'm going to gently use my 4-inch handle squeegee. Once in a blue moon I do this. I want to make sure there's no air bubbles. See how easy this would be to just do this all bright white? But we're not. We're gonna take the challenge. We're gonna do colors. See, I'm hearing it move. So that tells me there was some air bubbles under there. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the top. We'll do our little dandelion pieces, and we'll do the first word, and then we'll peel. And I do have paper towels here ready in case if it starts to dry, we will resort to that. So I have a couple of different tools that I'll need. Our multi-tools are great. So they get in little tiny areas. So I'm grabbing another one because I want to make sure that right here where this joins that I do it perfect. And I'm going to try. We know how that goes sometimes. Taking a little bit of my chalk paste. Going to get my first few things. It might have been easier to do. I'm going to do this side of this, and then we will do the other side of the letter. Going to scrape that off. Going to do these guys here. So we're just going to do as far as this first word, and then we're going to peel it down because this is going to dry really quickly. So I'm going to take some of my chalk paste here, my Couture Teal, and you want it to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. Going to get some of that out onto my letters here. And I know my head is in the way, so sorry about that. I'm going to take my other little multi-tool, and I'm going to get right in here. I'm trying to get that fine line there. Okay, so I think I got it pretty good. And I'm going to do the other side of the little dandelion piece. I need to get some of the little teeny tiny makeup ones that some people use. Okay, trying not to pick up any of that Couture Teal. Okay, so now I need to work quickly because this is going to start drying. So this, I can just start squeegeeing down. This would be a great project for 2 people. You could have 2 people working on this at once. And you actually could have more than that. You could have a couple of people working on it. I'm going to get right up here. Okay, I'm going to squeegee off the excess, put it back into my jar, and then we're going to peel this part. Okay, going back into my jar. Have my paper towel over here. Sorry about my head, guys. I'm going to peel this and see how we look. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this back down. We could dry that, but we don't have to. And I see a little area that I want to fix because right here I can see that there is like a little imperfection. Okay, all right, so we're okay now. Gently lay that right there, and then we're going to do the next part and we'll peel, and we're just going to keep going down like that. So I can go ahead and I can put more of this on here now. I can use my little spoon and we can do both sides. Some people might be fast enough to do this all at once, but I'm not, and I am not going to stress over that. I am just going to do it at my pace. It's not a race, except it's a race against it drying. So you do not have to compete with anybody else in how they do theirs. Everybody does theirs a little bit differently. We all kind of have we have the same goal. We want it to look nice. And if you get there differently than somebody else, don't worry about that. Don't stress, okay? You figure out what works best for you. If the damp paper towel method works better for you, then by all means do that. I can use this right here. I can use my 4-inch handled squeegee because this area is nice and open. It makes it go really quickly. You can go from all different angles. Okay, I'm going to put this back into my jar, and then we're going to peel that. You want it to be as smooth as possible so that it looks really nice and smooth underneath, and don't drop it onto your thing. So we're going to peel this carefully. Okay, perfect. All right, so it's looking great so far. Okay, going to gently lay it right there. We're going to start, I think we can do the whole rest of this because it's straight lines and then this is all one piece. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and we'll put a little bit of chalk paste on here. We'll get these little sides done, and then we'll do the center words and we'll peel this whole thing because I think that it's going to be really easy because there's no little details in between. See how I can just take that and I can just pull it down? And it just fills that hole. Make sure your whole screen area is filled. I'm going to put this back into my jar to use on another project. And then I'm going to I'm going to put chalk paste here and there, probably way too much. I'm going to use my 4-inch handled squeegee to start spreading. Making sure that I get all of my areas covered before I scrape it. Okay, so I'm going to scrape this, and then I'm going to spread some of that is going to go right over here, just like that. Kind of working my squeegee. And it is time to peel this. I can see it's drying. It is time to take this whole thing off and see what we got. I'm going to go ahead and put that back into my jar, and then we're just going to peel everything. So let's take a look as we go. Make sure everything looks good. You can lay it down if you need to, and you could redo a letter, but it's looking very nice. All right, guys. So now I have this great big huge transfer, and an easy thing to do is to take it by the corners. Okay, I hope I'm not going blurry because I know how it is with this phone. So you got it by the corners, you're gonna fold it in half. So now you have half as much to deal with, okay? So now you have your non-sticky sides together. This is going into my water bath. Okay, making sure it's down in the water. You want to take good care of your transfers. So I have my entire sink full of water. If you don't have a sink big enough, then you could use your bathtub. But there you go, guys. I'm so happy with it. How fun is that? And that did not take long at all. That was a very quick project. And I could sell this at a craft show. I could put this on my wall. I could give this as a gift. And it took me literally maybe, what, 15 minutes. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go. If you want to know more about Couture, how to join, about selling it, how to purchase the transfers, I will put links below to my website. You can go there directly. You can order this transfer. You can order the new frame, which is really awesome. The Sylvie has a thicker border and looks a little more rustic. It is really awesome. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. I hope everything looked okay on there. I know my head was in the way some of the time. Sorry about that. It's hard on these big ones, but hey, I do the best I can. I hope that you were able to learn something. Have a wonderful day.